ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
सगोदोहनमात्रं हि
सगोदोहनमात्रं हि
गृहेषु गृहमेधिना
गृहेषु गृहमेधिना
अवैक्ष्यते महाभागस्
अपेक्षते महाभाग
तीर्थीकुर्वस्तथाश्रमम्.
कीर्तिकुर्वन् सदाश्रमम्।
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
translation. He, Shukadeva Goswami, was accustomed to stay at the door of a householder long enough for a cow to be milked, and he did this just to sanctify the residence. Purport. Shukadeva Goswami met Emperor Parikshit and explained the text of Srimad Bhagavatam. He was not accustomed to stay at any householder's residence for more than half an hour at the time of milking the cow, and he would just take alms from the fortunate householder. That was to sanctify the residence of his auspicious presence. Therefore, Shukadeva Goswami is an ideal preacher established in the transcendental position. From his activities, those who are in the renounced order of life and dedicated to the mission of preaching the message of Godhead should learn that they have no business with householders save and except to enlighten them in the transcendental knowledge. Such asking for alms from the householder should be for the purpose of sanctifying his home. One who is in the renounced order of life should not be allured by the glamour of householders' worldly possessions and thus become subservient to worldly men. For one who is in the renounced order of life, this is much more dangerous than drinking poison and committing suicide. Hare Krishna. So I welcome every one of you for today's Srimad Bhagavatam class here at ISKCON Goregaon West. Thank you very much for your kind presence and encouraging us to give Srimad Bhagavatam class. Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that when you go to preaching and nobody is there to listen to your lecture, try to preach to the four walls. So definitely he can say like that, but it's quite impossible for a person like me who still wants dhanam janam. Sundarim I doubt, but dhanam janam definitely. So thank you very much for encouraging and coming every day, such a wonderfully practically present every day for hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and the narration of this Amrit which has been flown through the direct mouth of Srila Narada Muni, Srila Shukadeva Goswami, Sutta Goswami, which is written by Vyasadeva and commented by our dearmost A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. So it is always said that the purport which is given by Srila Prabhupada is actually the ecstasies of Srila Prabhupada. So with a very wonderfully Srila Prabhupada has compiled this purport and put it so that each and every one of us, especially the Kali Yuga Jivatma from the 21st century, of very much advanced uh, materially and scientifically, that we think like that. But still, by the mercy and compassion, Srila Prabhupada has given this purport. Once one person came to meet Srila Prabhupada, and that person was sitting, and all his disciples were sitting. So this person asked Srila Prabhupada that, okay, you have written these purports, how these purports are, I have read these purports and all. Srila Prabhupada said, no, I didn't wrote this purport. It's Krishna who is writing this purport. So this person got very much bewildered. Just to adjust the situation, one of the disciples of Srila Prabhupada said, Prabhupada wants to say that Krishna inspires him from within, and then Srila Prabhupada writes the purport. Srila Prabhupada all of a sudden looked at his disciple and said, no, Krishna personally comes, he dictates, and I write down those purports. So that is what conviction of Srila Prabhupada, devotion of Srila Prabhupada, and that is what the glory of Srila Prabhupada's purport. So each and every purport is very much filled with lot of wisdom. And especially yesterday in Hindi Bhagavatam class, I was telling the devotees that any person who gives a very good oral reception to the Srimad Bhagavatam opens the windows and doors of spiritual world for us. It's not different than the kind of a movie of a spiritual world, because this is what exactly happens in the spiritual world. Katha ganam natyam gamanapi mamshi priya sakhi. So even if a dance, even if a walk in a spiritual world is like a dance, a speech is like a poem or a singing. So that's how spiritual world acts and behaves, and that's what we come to know through the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. So the Srimad Bhagavatam opens the doors of windows, or doors of windows, opens the doors and the windows of the spiritual world for all of us. So it's not different than Krishna. So in this particular purport, now the glories of Shukadeva Goswami, the nature and the behavior and the activities of Shukadeva Goswami has been briefly mentioned. Mainly in this world, whenever a person gets married, there are the two types of married people. The first type is called as Grihastha, Griha Asta. The person who stays at home is known as Griha Asta. And the second type of married people is a Griha Medhi. So one who is very attached to this material form of home, relatives, and own kinsmen. So that person is called as Grahamedi. Especially person who stays at home but follows the devotional principles, worships Supreme Lord, serves Supreme Lord and his devotees. That well-established devotee in Krishna consciousness is known as Grahastha. He doesn't utilize this particular ashram for his own sense gratification. Okay, so that person is known as Grihastha. Other person who is so much attached to this material phenomenon, material opulences and the things and the situations and the opulences, that particular person utilizes each and everything, each and every person for his own sense gratification. So that person is known as Grahamedi. So Grahamedi person has no hopes in life. But Grihastha person, because he is very much attached at the lotus feet of Supreme Personality of Godhead, he has lot of hopes. Especially somebody is in renounced order, people naturally gives lot of respect to that person. Because of just the externals also, many times people just bow down in front of a person. But my spiritual master always mentioned one sincere sadhaka grihastha who is completely dedicating his life for the greater cause of Krishna consciousness. He is actually 1,000 times better than a brahmachari. Brahmachari is considered as the legs of the society. Grahastha is considered as the stomach of society. Vanaprastha is considered as the arms of society. And the sannyasis are considered as the head of society. So Brahmachari's work is to just work and do humble menial services for all the ashramas which are above that ashram, which is Grahastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyasa. Sannyasa ashrama's activity is actually to guide the other three ashramas, especially the Grahasthas, because they are the stomach of the society. Why they are called as stomach? Because Brahmachari won't work, they don't earn. Similarly, Vanaprastha and Sannyasi, they don't also work and earn. So, earnings member is only Grahastha people. And they have to take care of all the remaining three ashramas. Now, Krishna's system is so wonderful and so perfect because Grahastha has to take care of other three ashramas. The number of Grahasthas are more as compared to the Brahmacharis and Sannyasis. Even in our society, if you see, there are very few here and there, somewhere in the corner, few brahmacharis are there, and sannyasis are more rare in our society. But grahasthas, most of the in US especially, I have seen maximum temples are actually run and taken care by grahasthas. very dedicated and very powerful grahasthas. They're taking care of Srila Prabhupada's property and the Krishna consciousness in the West. So they are more in number because they have to take care of other three ashramas. So most important thing when we come to Krishna consciousness, we are married, then we should hanker and we should strive for becoming more and more dedicated towards Krishna and become the part of Grahastha ashram rather than becoming a part of a Graha Medhi ashram. So maybe any person can be a sannyasi, can be vanaprastha, grahastha, or a brahmachari. Every ashram has its own struggle. It's not that only grahasthas struggle in the material world and brahmacharis have their gala time. Any brahmachari, if he is utilizing his ashrama properties, utilizing its ashrama facilities for his own cozy life, he will be in danger. He will be in soon in the illusory energy Maya of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So brahmacharis, they have to do patana, patana, yajana, yajana. They have to perfect their sadhana. Just because of their sadhana and their patana, the society will run nicely. Sannyasis has to give more knowledge. They have to travel and encourage people in Krishna consciousness. And Grahasthas, they have to work, they have to support the temples financially also. They have to take care of sannyasis and brahmacharis and simultaneously their Krishna consciousness. So then the society, the temple, or the community will run perfectly. Any person who lacks in his own duties or kartavyas, the society or the community has to struggle then to go into ultimate benefit or to achieve that particular goal of a society or a community. So whether grahastha, they have to go outside, they have to deal with the illusory energy and the material energy of the Lord, they have to drain their spiritual energy in dealing with all these things. But they have to take care of their relatives, their kinsmen, their children, their mother and father. Simultaneously, they have to earn, and after that, one Sunday is left. There also, temple people says, "Why you are not coming to temple and having nice Sunday feast?" All these things are there. So that is a part of a struggle for the grahastha person. Even a brahmachari has their own struggle. If somebody earning money, if he goes outside and he likes something, he can just give money and buy. Nobody will ask anything. But brahmacharya has to take a permission. Even whatever the temple is providing, the type of a cloth, the type of a soap, the type of a gamcha, the brand of a toothpaste and the toothbrush, everything will be provided by temple, and he has no, oh no, I don't use this. I use Gillette Mac 3. Then and then only I will shave. Oh no no no! I want only khadi kapda from the greatest brand from some imported brand. He can't ask it. And especially for a brahmachari, the austerity of mind, the austerity of senses are there. He he is not like that every day going to the Govindas and eating palatable food. He cannot have a sangha of any other woman uh, rather than the service. He cannot deal with them. Especially there is a mental things also, because in Grahastha ashram, husband is there for wife, wife is there for husband to take care of each other. But whenever brahmachari gets a kind of a cold or a fever, he has to struggle alone. Only brahmachari will go, कैसा है? अभी तक है क्या? ठीक है. So in that way, it will work. So brahmacharya ashram is little bit uh, a kind of a tough, emotionally tough. Okay, so that struggle is there, definitely. They have to stay alone in their life. But still, in Krishna consciousness, there is a lot of pleasure. The Brahmacharya ashram has its own pleasure of Krishna consciousness. So, whether it is a grahastha ashram, brahmacharya ashram, vanaprastha ashram, one thing which we should, वो बोलते हैं ना, गांठ बांध के रखनी चाहिए. तो जीवन में हम लोगों को गांठ बांध के रखनी चाहिए कि with whatever may be the outside and external situations may be in my life, struggle will be there. Okay? Many times who gets married and after 1 or 2 years they come to Krishna consciousness. काश प्रभु जी मैं आपसे पहले मिला होता. अरे जो हमें पहले मिल रहे हैं वो कंफ्यूज स्टेट में है, they don't want to join, right? So whether external situation doesn't matter in the material world. Whatever is there according to your karma, whatever is there according to your samskaras, those struggle is going to come. If I am a brahmachari and my quota is to have this kind of a struggle, maybe the form will change. Okay. In grahastha ashram, those struggle will come in the form of relatives, in the form of colleague, in the form of boss. In brahmachari ashram, that struggle comes in the form of in charge, the department, and the other struggle, right? So, in material world, these three types of struggles or kleshas, they are compulsory for each and every person. Adi Devika, Adi Bhautika, Adi Atmika. Everybody has to go through it. Now we have to decide as per our intelligence. We have to apply our common sense and intelligence which kind of a psychophysical nature I have and which kind of situations will suit for me to better advance in Krishna consciousness. The goal should be fixed. Whoever we may be, whether a bachelor or whether a married, whether a sannyasi or a brahmachari, one goal has to be very fixed in our mind, that we have to advance in Krishna consciousness. And in order to advance in Krishna consciousness, whatever the situations are favorable for me, I will accept them. Anukulasya sankalpa pratikulasya varjanam. That's what the principle, that should be the principle of our existence in devotional service. So especially in this particular verse, it is mentioned that the brahmachari or the sannyasi or the renunciate, they should have, uh, the business with householders only regarding Krishna consciousness, only regarding giving the knowledge to householders, no more than that. Going to householders' home and saying, "Oh my God, what a kind of a beautiful tab you have! Rather, this tab we should have in the ashram. Prabhuji, can you sponsor such kind of a tabs? Can you sponsor such kind of a furniture or this or that?" Of course, for Krishna service, if we like something, some Prabhuji has a very beautiful altars, beautiful deities. And if we ask Prabhuji from where you have taken this, can we get the numbers and all this? And after that, Prabhuji, can you sponsor a dress for the Lord? Can you sponsor the jewelry for the Lord? That kind of stuff is okay. But accepting it for, "Oh Prabhu, I don't have such kind of a nice cozy bed and this mattress in my ashram. Can I have one nice bed and mattress for myself?" Of course, that humble grahastha will provide it to you, but as a brahmachari, as a renunciate, one should not ask such kind of a cozy and sense gratificated things. So Shukadev Goswami gives us what is the actual ideal preacher should be. The ideal preacher should only give Krishna consciousness and encourage the people. When Rupa Goswami, in the 4th verse of NOI, Upadeshamrita, he says, "Dadati pratigrihnati guhyamakyati prichati bhunti bhojateshchaiva shadvidha priti lakshanam." So dadati for a householder is to take care of brahmachari and their ashram, their basic bodily needs and the temple activities. But for a brahmachari and a sannyasi, dadati means what? Giving Krishna conscious knowledge, giving your humble menial service to the householders and the other society members. What is the pratigrihnati? Pratigrihnati means for a brahmachari, whatever is given by the temple, a basic facility to stay in this body, that should be pratigrihnati. And for a grahastha, whatever the wonderful knowledge has been given in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam by the residentials or the senior devotees, that should be accepted by the householders. Bhunkte bhojayate, that's naturally many times grahastha devotees, they ask the renunciates and the brahmacharis, sannyasis to come to their home to take prasadam. That doesn't mean that brahmachari should give menu. Oh, I love panipuri, bhelpuri, shivpuri, wo bhi rehna chahiye. Then khichdi, it should be in ghee. And then Mataji, you are from North India, no? You should have a nice parathas, especially aloo paratha and the muli paratha. I love that. Okay, and Pruji, you are from South India, no? So you should have nice puffy idlis for all of them. That kind of bhunti bhojyat is not there. Whatever is given with a love, you just accept it. And for renunciate, for grahastha, when he comes to the temple, whatever the basic prasadam is provided to him, even if it is a khichdi, he should accept it as a prasadam of the Lord, as a mercy of the Supreme Lord. Okay, if it is there like puri, sabzi, halwa, rice, pulao, and everything, that's very nice in the temple. We should accept that. But even if sometimes it is just a khichdi, that also should be accepted with a very grateful heart. So that is what a bhunti bhojayate. And then guhyam akhyati prichhati. Definitely, grahastha should have a grahastha counselors and mentors, and brahmachari should have a brahmachari counselor and mentors, because each and every one of them can understand their situation better. Brahmachari, he doesn't know what is the struggle of grahastha ashram. If somebody is not coming for 2 days in Srimad Bhagavatam class and brahmachari say, "Hey, fall down हो गया प्रभु जी आपका, 2 दिन से आप आए नहीं रहे भागवतम क्लास में, अरे बाबा, what is this struggle? You don't know. You're just staying in a temple. You don't know how to buy a gas, how to fill a grocery, how to go for the sabzis, what is the relatives and their expectations from you. How can you can very easily attend Srimad Bhagavatam class, but grahasthas have their own struggles, right? Similarly, grahasthas cannot understand the struggle of a brahmachari. अरे क्या है, मंदिर में दूसरा काम है, बैठ के खाना, ये तो मैं जब जाऊँ तब देखता हूँ इनको सोते रहते हैं, सुबह भी देखा सोते हैं, दोपहर में देखा सोते हैं करके. So we don't know what is the renunciate life and how hard it is to maintain especially the consciousness and to take away our mind from those sense gratificatory objects which are very easily available outside, right? So every ashram has their own struggle. A brahmachari cannot advance in Krishna consciousness if he considers that grahasthas are into illusion, into maya, they are into sense gratification. And grahastha cannot advance in devotional service if he is not giving proper respect to the renunciates and the brahmacharya ashram. So, our advancement is very mutual. A brahmachari should totally understand and give all his respects to the grahastha ashram and the grahastha devotees. Simultaneously, the grahasthas, they should give all kind of respect to the renounced order of life. And if both of them has such kind of a mutual respect, amanina manadena, then both of them can do the kirtaniya sada hari. Otherwise, it will be a very struggleful life for grahastha also and the renunciate also. So, that's why Srila Prabhupada, while leaving this body, he said, if you really want to show your love towards me, try to cooperate with each other. So that cooperation is very much important. Now imagine if our bodily organs goes into what we call that, dharna pradarshan, uh, in English. Anshan, dharna pradarshan. Oh, hand will say, strike, they will go on strike. And hand will say, I will not feed the mouth. And mouth will say, I will not chew and give it to the stomach. And stomach will say, I will not digest for other organs and give energy to them. What will happen to us? We'll die all of a sudden if organs goes into such kind of a struggle. So similarly, the grahastha ashram, vanaprastha ashram, brahmacharya ashram, sannyasi ashram, they are like the organs of our society. The Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra, they are like the organs of society. If they don't cooperate with each other, so the society will fail. And even the equality, many times, equality should be from the opportunity point of view. Equality, it should not be like a competition spirit, that because he got that kind of a facility, I also want that kind of a facility. Facility always comes with the responsibility. The difference between the Ayodhya culture and the Lanka culture is about a responsibility. Ayodhya people also were having the facilities, and Lanka people were also having the facilities. But Ayodhya people, they are more jagrik. They were more uh, aware of their responsibilities. So when Lord Ramachandra left for forest, they were knowing their responsibility and they followed Lord Ramachandra. But when Ravana got killed, they were enjoying inside. Okay, now Bibhishan is Raja, we will just do eating, meeting, sleeping, defending. Yeah? So that's what the difference between Lanka and the Ayodhya culture. When Lord Ramachandra left, Bharat, he took the responsibility of Ayodhya, but he didn't compromise in his position of Das of Lord Ramachandra. But here, Bibhishan, he was again and again telling Ravan that this your responsibility is to return Sita to Lord Ramachandra, that is his property, otherwise the whole Lanka will get burnt. The whole Lanka will get finished. But Ravana, instead of following his responsibility, having awareness of being a elder brother, he rather discarded Bibhishana's proposal, and also he thrown him away out of Lanka. So that's what it becomes. When the Grahastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasi, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, they follow their responsibilities, the whole community becomes like an Ayodhya, Ramarajya. Yesterday we have that Dhwajarohan in Ayodhya, right? So Lord Ramachandra has appeared, but Lord Ram alone he can establish the Ramarajya, but he expect from us that we should have a cooperation like the Ayodhyavasi. Then the whole Bharat will go through Ramarajya. If we don't try to cooperate with each other, I have my agenda, he has his agenda. I will consider my way is a highway and he will consider his way is a highway. Then it is a Lanka culture. Even if in a home, if each and every person has their own ego and अगर वो अपने ego को लेके बैठते हैं तो वह घर चलता नहीं है कभी. If husband says no, this is what I think, and wife says no, this is what I think, if there is a struggle, there is a constant differences of opinion, then that samsaric life will not go on for a long time. And what is the repercussions of that? The children has to suffer because mother and father cannot go well together. They divorce from each other, and these children has to struggle for that. Sometimes they will get association of father, sometimes they will get association of mother, and if it is too much, they will get association of none, right? So that's why cooperation is very important. In material world, only Krishna in his holy name and his katha is perfect. No one is perfect. I am also not perfect, and my partner is not perfect. Even a brahmachari is not perfect, and grahastha is not perfect. So everyone has to tolerate the shortcomings of each and every other person. Adjustment is a key for the successful relationship. If we don't adjust with each other, especially the shortcomings of each other, that relationship won't go long. It will never have a longer life. So that's why adjustment is a key to go on in spiritual life, in spiritual relationship, as well as in the material relationship and material life. So householders and the grahasthas, they have to cooperate with each other. They have to have a mutual respect with each other. Especially when in grahastha ashram, they come to the temple, they see only the temple glamour. To see, this is a marble 500 crore temple, 1000 crore temple. Brahmachari, you have a gala time. Very nice. So they should not get allured that brahmacharis, although it looks like they have a palatial things, but their stay and their life is actually a kind of a very simple. And whenever a brahmachari goes to the householder's life, they should not be allured with the external things. Oh my God, such a wonderful chandelier, such a wonderful furniture, such a wonderful bathroom, such a wonderful tabs, and such a wonderful kitchen. And see, Mataji is such a wonderful cook, and Prabhuji has such a nice time that Mataji is cooking different dishes. I to only get bhopala, dudhi, galka. This is what I get in my life. So that person cannot be in renounced order of life for a long time. And if Grahastha gets allured with this kind of an externality of an renounced order of life, he will be frustrated in his Grahastha ashram. So in my mother tongue, there is a very wonderful line of Abhanga. I think it's by Sant Tukaram Maharaj. ठेविले अनंते तैशेची राहावे चित्ती असू द्यावे समाधान. Whatever the Ananta has kept you, Lord has kept you in the situation, be satisfied in that situation. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for each and every one of us. बोले ठेविले अनंते तैशेची राहावे चित्ती असू द्यावे समाधान. You should be always satisfied within the heart that it might happen that the whatever right now situation I have in my life, and I'm struggling for a better situation, and I'm thinking that okay, if I would have been in that situation, my life would have been more better. But maybe as per Krishna, that situation is the worst situation for you than the present situation, and that's why Krishna is not awarding you that. So give a benefit of doubt for each and everything, and especially to Krishna, that he knows what is better for us rather than knowing ourselves what is better for me. Krishna's plans are more greater, more beneficiary to us than our own plans. So we should have trust in Krishna in that way. And whatever Grahastha ashram, Vanaprastha ashram, Sannyasi ashram, or Brahmacharya ashram, or a single ashram, we should be happy, and only we will be happy in that ashram if we are sincere in our sadhana, especially in the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे.